Did you ever stumble onto a place that feels like a Florida cheat code? Well, that's Spring Hill, Florida, and this isn't theme parks and chaos, it's the Florida nature coast, where palm trees are real, the vibe is relaxed, and your weekends are basically a highlight reel. It's the norm to kayak past manatees, sip wine at the local winery, and maybe spot a wild turkey on your morning walk around the community. And most people are flying into Tampa have no idea this place even exists. And honestly, that's kind of the magic of it, because once you find it, you might not want to leave. You could have easily blown past it looking for somewhere else, but not you. You found this video, which means you're about to see why Spring Hill is Florida's best kept secret. So stay tuned. So what exactly is Spring Hill? Well, it's not some cookie cutter suburb, and it's definitely not your typical Florida retirement town. This is one of those spots that gives you space to breathe, literally and financially, bigger yards, less traffic, more chill. You've got beaches just down the road, trails and preserves all over, and enough local flavor to keep your weekends interesting without ever leaving town. But what really makes Spring Hill stand out? It's how the people live here. Now, weekends in Spring Hill don't need a plan. They just kind of evolve and unfold by themselves. So mornings can kick off under the oak canopies at Nature Coast Botanical Gardens, where locals stroll the trails like it's their own backyard. Over at Anderson Snow Park, kids race from ball fields to the new splash pad, while parents camp out with iced coffees and folding chairs. You're going to spend a lot of time there if you have kids in sports. If you're into the small town buzz, the Spring Hill Farmers Market is where half the town seems to bump into each other, and there's always a familiar face. Fresh produce, live music, and plenty of "didn't I just see you at Publix" moments. Then cap it off at sunset with a glass of wine at Strong Tower Vineyard, which, yes, is a real working Florida vineyard right here in Spring Hill. And it's not all scheduled attractions either. The Gulf is minutes away, and parks like Linda Pedersen or Jenkins Creek make it easy to grab a cooler, walk the boardwalk, and catch the sun dipping into the marsh. You may even hang a line off and catch a fish or two. That blend of suburban comfort with the coastal edge is what gives Spring Hill its weekend vibe. And if the idea of that kind of everyday lifestyle already has you thinking about a move, don't just keep watching from the sidelines, reach out to our team. There's no one with boots on the ground in Spring Hill like we are. We've been doing it for 20 years, and we want to be your local real estate team of choice. Our contact info is on the screen and down in the description for you. So now let's talk neighborhoods, because if you're starting to picture yourself here, the next step is figuring out where your version of Spring Hill life actually lives. And Spring Hill isn't a one-size-fits-all. It's a patchwork of neighborhoods, each with its own vibe, very, very different from each other. So if you're into polished country club living, Silverthorne delivers with golf carts buzzing towards the clubhouse and streets lined with big oaks. Want something gated but with a more clean, HOA kept curb appeal? Pristine Place nails that balance of order and comfort. And I've lived in both of these communities over 15 years, and they are fantastic. I highly recommend them to everybody. Over in Sterling Hill, it's families, splash pads, and community pools, the kind of place where kids fill the sidewalks on weekends, and it's close to all of the schools. Now, if you're eyeing something brand new, the choices are stacked around here. Valleybrook and Anderson Snow Estates are pulling in young families with modern layouts and smart home perks. And in Glen Lakes, it adds that golf and gated lifestyle, but with fresh construction mixed in from Richmond American. We were just up there this week checking out their models and inventory, and they are building a gorgeous home with fantastic incentives at a great price point. Caldera's newer builds are drawing buyers who want modern layouts with strong value. That's going to be Pulte and Homes by West Bay. We've got plenty of videos on the channel highlighting those models, and Homes by West Bay in particular are one of my favorite builders in the entire Tampa Bay area. And Del Webb Reserve with its own world for active adults. It's 55 plus with pickleball courts and social clubs that feel like a built-in friend group there for you already. And here's the real grit. These neighborhoods don't just sell homes, they sell lifestyles. Some come with HOAs that'll keep your lawn looking green all year round, and others give you the freedom to fly your flag and park your boat. So whether you want prestige, practicality, or a blank slate new build, it's all here. So guys, what's your vibe? I want to know, where would you live? Golf course polish, family-friendly ease, or fresh new builds? Drop it in the comments down below. I love hearing from you guys, and your comments and feedbacks might just help someone else make their decision. Now, let's zoom in on the everyday go-tos, because Spring Hill keeps it real simple when it comes to daily living. You've got everything you need close by without the headache of city traffic. Grocery runs, Publix is a go-to for most families, including ours. Aldi keeps it easy on the wallet, and Sprouts is a great new addition where you'll see the health-conscious crowd loading up on all the organics. That's also a place that I love to go to. It's been a great addition locally. The prices are reasonable and the food choice is fantastic. But Murphy's Market, that's the local gem. It's right on Mariner Boulevard, and it's the kind of place where the cashier remembers your name by the third, fourth visit, and the produce feels like it came straight from your neighbor's garden. They have awesome prepackaged meals, a great deli section. It's a really solid standout and a great local spot. Now I'm guessing some of you like the Joe. Well, coffee here has its own culture as well. So Warehouse Coffee Company is polished and buzzing. I always love popping in there. 787 House of Sugar is where you grab a guava pastry and overhear 3 different conversations in Spanish, English, whatever it might be. Really great for the sweet tooth option. And then Cafe Connections feels more like pulling up a chair in your friend's kitchen than it does a cafe. Really solid breakfast options, and be sure to ask for their Pop-Tarts. They are phenomenal. Now, all of this to say is these places aren't just caffeine spots, they're local hangouts where people love to meet and you can sample the local culture. Now, if you're a fitness buff like me, you've got options that fit every single type of personality. There's Epic Health and Fitness, which is where I belong to. It's a 24/7 access, serious training workout gym. Another great solid choice is Burn Boot Camp. Really popular. And that packs in the energy and has childcare if you need it as well. And then there's more familiar favorites like Planet Fitness if you're looking for something down that route. And then one of the other important things that we hear people talk about is healthcare. And when it comes to healthcare, Spring Hill doesn't mess around there either. The big city hospital standards are right here at home. So whether it's Oak Hill Hospital that handles just about everything, or if you're rehabbing an injury or bouncing back from something bigger, Encompass Health is where locals go to get back on their feet. And then there's Tampa General Hospital, which just took over Brooksville Hospital on State Road 50, just a couple of minutes from Spring Hill, which is absolute state of the art, and Tampa General Hospital is always ranked one of the top in the country. The point is, Spring Hill doesn't just look good on the weekends, it's built for real life. Quiet where you want it, convenient when you need it. Now, no matter where you're moving to, if you have kids, schools become a priority and possibly a deciding factor, and schools are always one of the first questions families ask about. And Spring Hill has some solid answers to those questions. So Hernando County schools anchor the area, and a few names always come up. Challenger K-8 is a favorite for families who want strong academics all the way through middle school. Chocochatty Elementary, which is where our children went through, is an awesome school, one of the top elementary schools of any of the surrounding counties. At a high school level, Springstead gets a lot of love, especially for its arts and AP programs, and for kids who are more hands-on, Nature Coast Tech stands out with career-focused tracks that go beyond textbooks. That's where our son has just started going into the film program there, which is absolutely incredible. Of course, not everyone sticks with the public schools. There are private and charter options too, faith-based programs, smaller academies, and charter schools give families the alternatives with tighter-knit classrooms. And the nice part is you don't have to drive across 3 zip codes just to drop your kid off. Most neighborhoods have good options really close by, and you can reach out to us to find more about that. And here's the local truth. You'll learn more about school in 5 minutes of pickup line traffic or chatting with parents at a Friday night football game than you will from any star rating online, even as good as those resources are. Touring campuses, feeling the vibe, and talking to other families is the move here, so if you know anybody, be sure to do that. And now, schools are one piece of the puzzle, but what really makes or breaks Spring Hill for a lot of people is where it sits on the map in relation to other places and the ease of access to getting around here. Now, this is where I think Spring Hill really excels, because Spring Hill's like that sweet spot on the map where you're not stuck in the chaos, but you're close enough to jump in when you want to. Now, Tampa, that's about 50 miles down the Suncoast Parkway. You can be at Tampa Airport in about 45 minutes, depending on where you are in Spring Hill. And the Suncoast Parkway is like the local cheat code road here because it's so underused, and unless you're doing it in peak hours right down by Tampa, there's barely any traffic on it. And of course, it helps you skip all the stoplights and the bottlenecks as well, so win-win there. The weekend vibe, Pine Island is just 20 minutes west. Be ready for parking to turn into bumper boats if you roll up late on a sunny Saturday. The parking's a little bit limited, but it's a great place to spend a couple of hours down there to enjoy the golf and the sandy beach. Weeki Wachee, where the mermaids are and the springs, 15 minutes and you'll be kayaking past manatees. Try not to spill your public sub on the current. Even Orlando, An easy hour and a half east, perfect for a Disney day trip or Universal Studios run, but far enough away that you don't hear fireworks every single night. And here's the thing, location isn't just about miles, it's about the lifestyle. So Spring Hill puts you close to the water, the trails, and big city jobs, while still letting you have a yard big enough to park that fishing boat you actually want to use and can get out on the water at the weekends. And once you know where Spring Hill sits on the map, you've got to weigh the real stuff. What feels like day to day, the pros, the quirks, and what's coming next. And I promise I won't sugarcoat everything here. So let's talk about some of the great stuff in Spring Hill. Spring Hill's biggest win? Probably the space. You're not crammed into cookie cutter lots where you can high-five your neighbor through the kitchen window. Here you've got room to park your boat, throw a backyard barbecue, maybe even add that pool without begging for permission from the HOA. And compared to Tampa suburbs like Wesley Chapel especially, the prices here still make you do a double take. It's one of the lowest priced areas in the greater Tampa Bay area. Now the vibe here, I would say it's kind of coastal without the touristy chaos. One day you're in Nature Coast Botanical Gardens that I mentioned earlier, the next you're watching the sunset at Pine Island Beach, which is spectacular with sand still on your flip-flops. It's got that suburban calm but with the Gulf breeze in the background, but let's keep it real. If your idea of fun is rooftop bars and all-night clubs and that's the scene you're into, Spring Hill's nightlife is probably not going to check off the boxes for you. Spring Hill's nightlife probably looks like grabbing tacos at Chula's Mexican or maybe hitting up a quick happy hour and trivia at Tidal Brewing, enjoying some of the local craft brews. Although there are some places that stay open past midnight and have some kind of club atmospheres and music, they're a little bit thin on the ground here. Commutes, they do exist. Tampa's a doable commute, but it's not down the street, and yeah, some parts of Spring Hill have older homes that still rock pink bathrooms straight out of the 1980s, so be prepared to see some of those. Now the flip side here is the growth. The growth is going off here in a big way. New communities like Valley Brook, Waterford, and Sandal Key, where there's going to be a lagoon going in 2027, are keeping up. Retail is expanding along State Road 50 and US 19, as well as along Spring Hill Drive and Mariner. And local businesses are thriving. The area is balanced in that small town, nature-first charm with just enough new energy to keep things fresh. So, the bottom line, Spring Hill isn't trying to be Tampa. And that's the point of it all, I guess. It's more affordable, more spacious, and gives you the lifestyle that feels laid back, but still connected to everything. Living here in Spring Hill, like I have been for the last 20 years, feels easy. You're not packed in like sardines, you've got breathing room, and the neighbors wave when they pass you, and if your kid leaves their bike in the driveway overnight, odds are it'll still be there in the morning. I can tell you because our kids have done it. It's suburban calm with just enough coastal edge. So you can catch that salty breeze driving down Shoreline Boulevard, even though you're not in some tourist-loaded beach town. And then who's living here, you ask? Well, families chasing bigger yards, retirees chasing the slow roll, and then more and more folks coming out of Tampa looking for sanity without having to give up all of the perks that they have. Hybrid workers love it because, like I said, you can hop on that Suncoast Parkway to 589, be in the city for a meeting, and still be home barbecuing in your backyard by 6:30, 7 o'clock. Now, like I said, it's not the Miami nightlife or even the Tampa nightlife for that matter. You're trading clubs for stars in the skies and maybe backyard fire pits with friends, which is more my pace of life at this stage that I'm in. And honestly, like I said, that's the charm of everything. Instead of late night traffic, you're waiting at that one infamous light on Mariner that I have to do every single day on the way into work. That always seems to take forever to change. Your going out spot might well be Publix at 5:30, where half the neighborhood's also doing their shopping as well. And let's be real, if you don't have at least one chaotic story about trying to park at Pine Island, are you even a local here? But you're not paying insane prices for condos. You're not losing half your life in traffic. Instead, you've got new builds popping up, retail slowly catching up as well, and neighborhoods that are still affordable compared to just about any of the suburbs to the south. Spring Hill feels like it's leveling up without losing its identity. It's not blowing up overnight necessarily, but you can feel the growth for sure, and the locals are certainly talking about it. New communities, coffee shops, restaurants, health clubs, and yeah, even the roads are getting a facelift here and there, which is causing some chaos, but a necessary part of it. It's a place where you can plant roots, but also one that's quietly on the rise as well. So that's Spring Hill, guys, a place where weekends feel like mini vacations, neighbors still wave when you drive by, and you've got space to breathe without being cut off from all of the good stuff. Now, if you're thinking about making a move here, our real estate team is right in the middle of it all. We've been here for 20 years, we know the neighborhoods, we know the quirks, and we'd love to help you figure out if this could be your next home. We want you to reach out, and we want to be your Spring Hill real estate team of choice. Our contact is on the screen yet again, and you can find it down below if you need to reach out to us. Call, text, email, set up a Zoom. We just love hearing from folks like you on the YouTube channel. You're my favorites. And if you're not done exploring yet, hunt around the channel, check out our other playlists and videos for a whole host of information about Spring Hill, Brooksville, and the surrounding suburbs. As always, thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm Ross Hardy from the Hardy team. It's time to love where you live.